History often remembers kings by their epithets: the Great, the Magnificent, the Conqueror. Selim II, the son of Suleiman the Magnificent and Hürrem Sultan, would not inherit such glorious titles. Instead, he was remembered with a name that stung with irony: Selim the Sot, or Selim the Drunkard. But to stop there is to miss the true tragedy and fascination of his reign. For Selim's story is not simply that of a weak king lost in wine and pleasure. It is the story of what happens when the greatest empire of its age, built by giants of war and law, passes into the hands of a man more interested in the goblet than the battlefield. It is a saga of shadows, where the son of Suleiman lived not in the blaze of conquest, but in the dim light of court intrigue, family schemes, and a dangerous reliance on others. This is the tale of Selim II, who sat on the Ottoman throne from 1566 to 1574, a reign that was short yet filled with intrigue, rebellion, war, and a shifting of empire itself. Selim was born on May 28, 1524, into the very heart of Ottoman power. His father was Suleiman the Magnificent, the greatest sultan in Ottoman history, who extended the empire into Europe and codified laws that bound together millions of subjects. His mother was Hürrem Sultan, the legendary concubine who became Suleiman's legal wife, an extraordinary scandal in itself, as sultans did not traditionally marry. From the very beginning, Selim's life was marked by the shifting tides of succession politics. Suleiman had many sons: Mustafa, Mehmed, Bayezid, and Cihangir. Each boy was watched with suspicion, nurtured by their mothers, and eyed by the ever-plotting factions of the palace. In this brutal system, brothers were not companions but rivals for survival. Selim grew up in the gilded cage of Topkapi Palace, where the laughter of children masked the whispers of assassination and the clinking of wine cups foreshadowed the blood of succession struggles. If Selim eventually wore the crown, it was not because he was the strongest or most capable. It was because of the bloody unraveling of his brothers. Prince Mustafa, the most beloved and capable, was executed in 1553 under suspicion of plotting rebellion. His death, ordered by Suleiman at Hürrem's urging, and the machinations of the Grand Vizier Rustam Pasha, shocked the empire. Prince Mehmed, once considered a strong heir, had died young of smallpox in 1543. Prince Cihangir, a gentle soul and Hürrem's favorite, was too frail and died in 1553. Prince Bayezid, Selim's last rival, clashed directly with him. In a bitter civil war, Selim, backed by Suleiman, defeated Bayezid in 1559 near Konya. Bayezid fled to Persia, but even there he was not safe. Suleiman's envoys pressed the Shah to surrender him, and in 1561, Bayezid and his sons were strangled. One by one, the brothers fell until only Selim remained. But his survival was not through the sword, it was through patience, political backing, and above all, the will of his mother Hürrem and his father Suleiman. Selim's personality could not have been more different from his father's. Where Suleiman was stern, disciplined, and majestic, Selim was indulgent, jovial, and weak-willed. He loved wine, poetry, and the company of women. Chroniclers of the time whispered of his drunken escapades, earning him the infamous nickname Selim the Drunkard, to Selim Sarhoş. He was the first Ottoman Sultan to avoid personally leading his armies into battle. Instead, he entrusted his wars to generals, viziers, and admirals. Yet, to call him a fool is to underestimate him. Selim was no warrior king. but he was cunning enough to navigate the deadly waters of succession. He understood alliances, he knew how to use loyalty, and he trusted capable men to do what he could not. When Suleiman died in September 1566 during the siege of Sigetvar in Hungary, the news was kept secret until Selim could be secured on the throne. The greatest sultan in Ottoman history passed away, and his son, very unlike him, now inherited the empire. Selim was crowned at Konya, not Constantinople, as Suleiman's body was secretly carried back to Istanbul. And so began a reign that would be shaped not by his personal greatness, but by the legacy of his father's empire and the ambitions of those around him. Selim's reign is often seen as the beginning of the Sultanate of women and the dominance of grand viziers. His reign relied heavily on Mem Sakalu Pasha, one of the most brilliant viziers in Ottoman history. Sakalu Pasha was the architect of Selim's government, running affairs with discipline while Selim drank and caroused. At the same time, the influence of the imperial harem women like Nurbanu Sultan, Selim's Venetian-born consort, and the valid sultans grew stronger than ever. It was under Selim that the Ottoman throne became less a battlefield crown and more a palace inheritance, with ministers and women wielding the true power. Though he never personally led an army, Selim's reign was far from peaceful. 1. The Cyprus Campaign, 1570 to 1571. Selim's greatest ambition was Cyprus, then held by Venice. The island was not only rich, but vital for control of the eastern Mediterranean. The campaign succeeded, and Cyprus was added to the empire. 2. The Battle of Lepanto, 1571, but victory came at a cost. A Christian coalition led by Spain and the Pope crushed the Ottoman fleet at Lepanto in one of the largest naval battles in history. It was a devastating blow, the first major defeat of the Ottomans at sea. Yet within a year, the Ottomans rebuilt their fleet, proving their resilience. 3. North Africa and the Mediterranean. Selim extended Ottoman control over Tunisia and strengthened ties with Barbary corsairs like Alut Ali Pasha. The Mediterranean, though contested, remained largely under Ottoman sway. Selim's family life was just as dramatic as his politics. His favorite consort, Nurbanu Sultan, gave him a son, Murad III, who would succeed him. Nurbanu, half Venetian, half Jewish, according to some sources, became one of the most powerful valid sultans in Ottoman history, ensuring her son's place as heir. Selim had other daughters and consorts, and his household became a battlefield of intrigue, marriages and alliances, securing Ottoman power across the empire. Selim II's end was as ignoble as his reign was controversial. He died on December 12, 1574, after slipping on a marble floor in Topkapi Palace, supposedly while drunk after the baths. His death was sudden, and his son, Murad III, inherited the throne. With Selim, the age of warrior sultans ended, and the age of palace intrigue, viziers, and powerful women began. Selim II is often dismissed as weak, a drunkard, a shadow of his father, yet history is more complex. Under his reign, the empire expanded with Cyprus, strengthened its naval presence, and remained the dominant power in the Mediterranean despite Lepanto. His reliance on Sakalu Mehmed Pasha and Nurbanu Sultan marked the beginning of a new political order in the Ottoman court. His rule represents a turning point from the age of conquerors to the age of politics, diplomacy, and palace power. Selim II may not have been the Magnificent, but he was the bridge between two eras of Ottoman history. And so Selim II's tale is not of triumphs like his father's, but of survival, indulgence, and the dangerous balance of empire. He was a man who inherited the greatest throne on earth, yet chose not to wield the sword. A king mocked as a drunkard, yet under whom the empire still expanded. A son of Suleiman, yet forever a shadow. History remembers him with a sneer, but perhaps we should remember him with awe, for it is often in shadows, not in sunlight, that the fate of empires is decided.